Welcome to the Back in Action podcast, where you're going to hear from me, a spine physician, Dr. John Lavelle, and two coaches, Dusty Holden and Josh Bunch. We're going to help you rethink pain, rebuild strength, and regain function so you can get back to enjoying the things you love in life without limits.
Welcome to the Back in Action podcast, a podcast where we get to the core of strength and conditioning and spine health. With me today, Dr. John Lavelle, Coach Dusty Holden. See what I did there with core strength? Did you see that?
That's good, man.
Today we're talking about a holiday blueprint for how to get through the holidays in a good position to start out, even to next year. That's coming up.
Yeah.
And I want to start out with, I feel this happens a lot and we don't ever talk about it. Why does my back hurt more in the holidays than any other time?
Well,
Is that family related?
stress plays a big role.
Okay.
I would say the big one is alcohol.
Oh, okay. Okay, you say, but am I drinking because of family? Is it still family related?
It could be the family's got you drinking a little bit more booze.
Okay.
It could be the stress of the schedules are crazy, all the parties. I would say that's probably the biggest one is just you're in environments that you're not typically used to being in.
Yeah.
With normally crowds.
Is it more obligations? Is that what we're hitting into?
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why there's an increase in heart attacks during the holidays because people are stressed. They're not eating what they usually eat. They're not moving like they're normally moving. But stress, we've talked about how it affects the nervous system. So you're going to have increased pain for sure. So I think it's so important during the holidays to try and maintain a similar pattern of living. So if you normally do things, try to keep on that schedule.
Okay.
If you normally exercise, maybe you're not going to be able to go train as much, but you can still do things at home. I think it comes back to if your lifestyle has been built around keeping yourself healthy and training and moving, you're going to keep it going. But I think what happens during the holidays is people look at their fitness as something they have to do, just like go to work. Well, if they're off of work, they're off their training too. So it's not something they've built in that they just do because it's what they do. They still get up and eat, drink, read the newspaper, things like that. Well, fitness should still be in there.
So
There shouldn't be any days off.
And if it's in a perfect world, would you just do it roughly the same way? So if you normally worked out in the morning, even though there's no work to get to, would you just try to preserve that behavior?
Unless, like Dusty said, you've drank 8 beers or had 6 martinis the night before the holiday party, you're not going to get up and do that.
Okay.
So,
I'd say, we're creatures of habit, so typically, if you got a routine, you try to stay within the same framework. But I also think that's where people, they tend to throw up their hands during the holidays is because their routine is off, and that's what kind of is the first thing that, goes to the wayside. And then rather than kind of checking down and figuring out, well, what can I do? Okay, now I've got maybe some more time commitments or maybe it's even you got more time on your hands. Maybe it's a shortened session. If you're somebody that spends an hour and a half in the gym, maybe it's like, all right, I can't do that, but I can do 45 minutes, or I can do 30 minutes.
Let's take it down. Let's say that my normal routine is about an hour. That seems to be what most of us can dedicate towards fitness. But let's say that the holidays have got me thrown off. There's no way I can make it to the gym for a solid hour.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me a 20 to 30 minute? Just really quickly, what would be the routine or what should be some of the primary movements that I should focus on if I only had 30 minutes, but I was used to getting an hour in each time I went to the gym?
Just to be as efficient as possible, I would just try to I would do some sort of squat.
Okay.
So
these are probably bilateral movements?
Yeah. Okay. Just keep it simple, assuming there's no, you're not going to complicate it with any equipment,
Okay.
And then if you got equipment, awesome, add it in. But you could just do like a 30-minute AMRAP. And,
what's an AMRAP?
So just as many rounds as you can get in that time domain.
Oh,
so
okay.
if it's 30, 30,
Set
20,
the clock.
Yeah, just let it run.
Okay.
If you're feeling great and you want to pick the intensity up and go fast, go fast. If you just want to move, just move. It's totally up to you and dependent on the person. But add some type of squat, add some type of hinge, and then a press. It could be just a push-up.
So you're going over basically our biggest return on investment movements.
Yeah,
you're pressing.
Again, the goal is feel good. You want to feel good, and if you can keep some momentum, the big thing is through the holidays is don't give up. Just keep the ball moving. And maybe it's not what you typically do, but there's no such thing. The only bad workout is the one that didn't happen. So I think
maybe not
that's
a time to PR, maybe not a time to look to progress like that, but more maintain.
You're going to feel better if you just keep moving through, that 2-week span or whatever it is, the month maybe. When you do get back into your routine at the first of the year, you're going to be glad that you kept moving and you had still that kind of baseline established than if you just scrap it and then all of a sudden, and I see this, you've seen it, man, is people who are like in a very good routine, they get derailed at the holidays, and that with the intent of January 1st, I'm back in the gym, and guess what? January 1st comes and goes, and they're not back in the gym. And so then it's 3 months, 6 months down the road, and they have now they've went down this kind of, weird path because they got out of their routine and never got back into it. So just get whatever win it is, just stack the wins.
I think even to simplify it even further, let's say you can't even fit in that 20, 30-minute workout. After you eat your meal, go for a 10-minute walk around the neighborhood, before you have dessert. If you walk right after your meals, you're decreasing the insulin resistance right away. You're going to have that decreased insulin spike. So start burning it right then. Go for that little walk and then have dessert,
Yeah.
Stay active. If around with a family gathering, don't just sit there and let the kids be on video games. Make it something fun. Get up and move with the kids. Make a game out of something. There's a million things you can do. Go outside and play basketball. Move around a little bit.
Yep.
If you're cooking all day and you can't do it, just do calf raises. Do squats in the kitchen. Take little breaks. You can make it fun and do simple little things. Because a lot of my patients, they're not in the gym anyway, but they get thrown off their routine at home. Things we've talked about or I teach them to do at home. Maybe you can't do all that in one time, but incorporate little things where you're moving instead of just being more sedentary, eating food, drinking, and you're gonna lose it.
Is that a Chinese proverb? If you walk 100 steps after a meal, you live to be 99.
Something like
that. Now, is there a frequency that you recommend? Like, is there at least how much I need to do? So I think the WHO recommends I think it's 45-minute resistance training sessions a week. It's either 30-minute or 45 minutes.
And I would say that's the minimum.
45 is 45. Okay, so you say that's the minimum.
Yeah, at least.
Now, but you can take it to 4, and then make it 20 minutes each time.
Yeah.
So just split it up over more days, but get a little bit more in. Okay. Is there a time that you see that you think athletes are more successful in getting the workload in terms of morning?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's definitely morning time because it's before things start to get, pick up. Work starts, kids, off to school, all those things. It's just, that's kind of that time where if you can, get up a few minutes early. And that's really what it comes down to. It's like, how bad do you want it?
Mm-hmm.
And stop making excuses. And we're all busy. Nobody's, any busier than the next person. We all got commitments. So, if your normal wake time is 6 a.m., but you're sitting here saying, I don't have time to do this, then get up at 5:30. Get up at 5.
Yeah.
I mean, for crying out loud, you get up at 3 a.m.
That's right.
So, and it's just something now, it's ingrained into who you are. You don't think about it, you just do it. So, it's do the thing. If it matters, you'll do it. You'll figure out a way.
Well, because when they come to me, when they're in 10 out of 10 pain and miserable, they tell me, I'll do anything you want me to do, doc. Well, don't wait till that point when you're miserable, because it gets harder to do. Think if people could have a little bit of that mindset just day to day, you won't get to that point.
I think too, holidays are a good time. People, typically would maybe not start something, at this time because they think I'm more busy. But if you can do it now, you can do it anytime. So that's really I would say the big win is right now. If you can start it right before Thanksgiving, think about where you'll be come January 1st, rather than you sitting and now maybe your pain is worse or you've gained 10 more pounds or whatever it is. Do it now. Don't wait. It's not going to get easy.
Is there something that's more effective than another in terms of the exercise selection? So I only have that 20 minutes. I know I can't get my hour in, but I could definitely do what you're saying. I could dedicate 20 minutes 4 times a week. Is it more important that I run Is it more important that I lift? Do I need to do both? What would you, if I had a minimum amount of time, should I be doing one
You're
over the
stranded
other?
on an island, and all you can do is one thing. For the love of God, squat.
Yeah, okay. So some sort of body movement beyond just cardiovascular work.
Yeah, just look into a multi-joint movement that, like,
Okay.
all right, if I got 10 minutes and I'm going to do a 10-minute AMRAP, as many air squats as I can get.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's
So it's just look for the most bang for the buck. You know,
Yeah.
it's what movement can I do that's going to involve the most body parts.
yeah.
And it's going to make me feel the best, and it's going to get me sweating. And it's just one of those things, man. You will feel better. I guarantee you will feel better.
Okay, Doctor, would you say that it's related to a lack of, so when I'm off of work, I'm doing less movement? Is it that lack of stimulus that we're really feeling is what makes it more uncomfortable during the holidays, or is it something else like you said, like drinking alcohol, which means I'm probably drinking less water, so the spine is less hydrated? What am I looking for in terms of discomfort?
I think it's both. I think the biggest thing is, alcohol obviously is a big thing, but it's lack of it. We become much more sedentary, and the hard thing is we lose our muscle conditioning and our muscle mass much quicker than we can gain it. So if you're sedentary for a week, you're gaining percentages of your muscle mass just by being sedentary for that week. And then add in stress, alcohol. Alcohol is a stress. It's just going to compound that, and your nervous system is going to get more sensitized so that when you go to move, it's going to be irritated. So if we're talking about someone that already has back pain and they've been managing it by moving and being in the gym regularly, well, then you take that away. It's just like someone that has high blood pressure and they've been managing it with a pill. Well, you take that pill away, the blood pressure is going to go up. No different here. If you're managing your back pain by moving and being active, you know the treatment. You have to keep it going.
That's
but
great.
maybe you have to modify it. Like Dusty said, just do body weight stuff. Just go for a walk after meals. Build it in where it can still be an enjoyable time with family around. Have everyone do it. Maybe grandma hasn't got off the couch all year. You're going to say, hey, come with me for a little walk. Let's go spend time together.
It's the greatest Christmas gift you could give grandma.
Exactly.
Of squatting? Now,
That way she's here next year.
Okay, I'll take that. Now, do you remember Julie Fouché?
Yeah.
So for our listeners at home, Julie Fouché, CrossFit athlete with the CrossFit Games. Yes, that's right. Became a doctor. She had an interesting thing, and this might go with grandma, where they would have a rower in the living room, and I'm pretty sure it was on Thanksgiving Day, and they would just take turns rowing 1K until they got to a marathon-ish.
Love it.
So it was something that was just controlled, not hard whatsoever, and they would work through that. Would something like that be like a family challenge? Would you toss something like gamify it a little bit?
100%. I mean, that's
I can
it's probably
totally see you
probably
do
the first year the people were like, "Are you
No, we're
crazy?"
never gonna do it. Yeah.
But after you do it, it's one of those things like it becomes like a tradition and something that everybody kind of gets like excited for.
Yeah.
And now a 1K, that's a good bit of rowing. You could start with 500 meters. My grandma, it'd probably be a victory getting her on the rower.
Okay.
Yeah, I think anything to make
Some
it
sort
like,
of gamification might make it a little bit more fun, where the
100%.
whole family.
And
has
there's
to
nothing
do it.
wrong with
So,
that.
yeah.
That's
Make
what I
it
was
fun.
mentioning. Make it a game. It doesn't have to be the row or something that specific, but if you have grandkids, have them challenge each other, and then parents get involved.
What's the skybox at the Tennessee game? The skyboxes are doing, isn't it push-ups every time Tennessee scores?
Oh, yeah.
Is it something like that? And I'm pretty sure it has to be based on the score. So if it's a touchdown, it's 7. But if it's your second touchdown, then you have to do 14, right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
So maybe something like that. If you're a football fan, you could toss that in there.
Yeah.
Now, I think we got a good way to manage through the holidays, but we've talked about what happens when we need to come back. So what's the blueprint on returning back to fitness for our normal fitness after the holidays have passed? What do I need to do to either return to sport or return to an optimal way of life that I normally have?
Well, I think if it would be dependent on like what happened over the holidays. But if you were able to maintain, let's say you kept kind of moving through the holidays, you're a 5-day-a-weeker at the
Let's say I
gym.
cut everything in half. So
Okay.
instead of that hour, I did that 20 or 30 minutes, 4 days a week instead of an hour. What should I come right back into an hour each time?
Yeah, I would come back into an hour. I would just maybe be, maybe I'm not going to come back in lifting as heavy as I was before I left.
So I reduce intensity.
Yeah, reduce the intensity a little bit, but as far as the time, frame, get back into that, that time frame that you're used to. because the quicker you can get back into your routine, obviously we know the success, speaks for itself. But I think depending on, physically what you did, then that's something you kind of ease into and ramp up.
Yeah. Now, doctor, you're super fit. Is there a go-to workout that you have where I have a closet? That's all I got. That's the only amount of room. I'm in a place with family. I don't have any of my equipment. Is there something that you would do or that you normally keep with you that you could do as a workout? So again, worst case scenario.
So you have no equipment in that
No
closet?
equipment. It's like, what would you do if you had nothing to use in terms of equipment?
I'm with Dusty, I would be squatting.
Squatting, okay.
But if you had a little bit of equipment or you had something you could lift up, I also love kettlebell swings.
Oh,
You're
okay.
getting some of that
And it
hinge
doesn't
in
take
there,
up a
you're
lot of
getting the upper body strength still maintaining. So I like those as well. If you had nothing but had a little bit, push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups,
Okay.
those three things are great.
Got it.
Planks, wall sits,
Lots of body weight stuff.
Yep.
Yep, lots of body weight stuff. Now, we intentionally left out food out of this podcast, but let's talk just a little bit about if I was going to, again, getting back to normal life after the holidays, do I need to focus more on food first, or do I need to focus more on fitness first, and what do you see is more successful across the board?
Move.
So, why should I move first instead of focusing
You're
on
just
my
going to feel
food?
better. You're going to feel better about yourself. Movement typically leads to just better choices. So I think once you start moving, you get motivated.
So you don't get motivated before you start moving, and then motivation happens?
Yeah, and you're not going to get motivated by talking about it. You just need to get in there and do it. Go back, get in the gym, move, and then because that's going to inspire you to, if the nutrition needs to be cleaned up, clean it up.
And I think also, talking about the two, food or movement, I think having a family meal, having meals together, that's just part of the fabric of community and society. It's just, I'm not a big fan of fasting and things like that because I think having meals together is such a social aspect of it's nice to do with people,
Yeah.
have that community that's good for mentally for all of us. So I think if you're going to maintain those meals and eat with family, have a big meal, that's where the movement comes in. Like I said, move after that meal, get moving, go for a walk, do something together. But also, if you can also, if you're not going to move, let's say you're someone that knows yourself, you need to say, it's 2 weeks here, I'm off on vacation, I'm not going to the gym, I'm taking a break. We don't obviously recommend that, but then food choices do become important. If you're not moving, you're not burning as much energy, maybe not having that second piece of cake or all those mashed potatoes, make sure you're getting more protein in there. I would go there first because it's going to fill you up and you're not stuff your face with, stuffing, mashed potatoes, all those carbs that...
So to be more satiated, you start with protein first.
Yes.
Okay. Now, that being said, if I'm somebody that has a little bit of a back issue going on, are there foods that you say that might be a little bit more cause more of an issue than another that you would recommend staying away from? Or do you not see that?
Sugar and inflammation comes from sugar, so processed foods,
So at least try to limit that to some degree, especially
limit the crap and eat healthier, natural food and start with protein.
Yeah, I would say too, like you said, it's important to if you're somebody that's going around with a lot of family or whatever, that you don't be the guy that's like, oh, he won't eat this food because he's Mr. Health or whatever. I've been that guy before, but I like to get in and make grandma feel loved because she's cooked. But I stay away from casseroles. So those are the ones. It's try to look at the food in its simplest form. Go for the protein.
Okay.
If it's a casserole, that's a no bueno. It's no, because there's a million ingredients in it, and who knows what grandma used. Go for the veggies. The things that look like it's not got a ton of different ingredients involved in it. I'm going to go with the simplest form of food that I can find on the buffet, and that's how I'm going to roll. And it makes grandma feel great, and nobody's calling you Mr. Fit guy or anything like that.
So you're not going for the sweet potato casserole with marshmallows on top? I've never seen that till marshmallows on a vegetable.
I'm steering away the casseroles.
Same on the casserole. Are you a casserole hater as well? I feel like we're gonna get hate mail for that.
We might.
We're gonna get hate mail for that.
There's some generational recipes, I'm
Who
sure.
doesn't like
I was gonna
casserole?
say,
Oh, it's not
It's
just
just
liking it.
It's just not the best choice. So let's say you love
I would
grandma's
crush it.
green bean casserole. Have a little bit, but don't make that your plate, and have a little bit of side of it, and eat the turkey or the ham
Okay.
first.
That's the problem,
and then have a
John.
little bit.
You can't have a little bit.
Well, you gotta have.
So,
You're also, if you can't have a little bit, you're also not going to the gym. So you probably not. You've turned us off by now.
So what we have is, if I started with the protein, maybe it's a little less likely that I'll kill the entire pan of whatever delicious casserole that I have. But also, if,
Yes.
like you said, if I filled up the plate and then I forced myself to get up and take a walk
If you're gonna eat
before
that
I got
casserole,
seconds.
Please, just go for a walk afterwards.
Okay. So the moral of the story
or
is,
for every like maybe a spoonful of casserole, you got to do 5 burpees.
okay. So maybe
That's
that.
the competition.
So okay. So that's the game.
That'll teach you
Spoon
or give you some
Every
boundaries.
spoon 5 burpees.
Yeah.
You won't be the weird guy at the party at all.
No, not at all, not at all. So we'll do more movement, more frequent movement that might not look like fitness. We're going to get in, at least try for 20 minutes, at least 4 times a week, even though that may be significantly reduced. If we haven't started, this might be the best time to start some sort of fitness regime right now.
Yeah, don't wait.
Okay, and protein first, that may actually lend itself to not overeating as we go. And then right after the holidays, go right back to what you were doing, just decrease the intensity in terms of time and effort.
Exactly.
Gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Good. Happy holidays.
Thank you for watching. Join us for much more where that came from. And when you get a chance, follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Back in Action Podcast.